So after week one, we've got 13 teams in Central Texas ranked in the state poll. Those being Temple in 6A, the aforementioned China Spring, and then of course La Vega in 4A D1. We got Lorena and West in 3A D1, which we'll get to them, but Crawford and Marlin in 2A. We got Abbott and Jonesboro and Oglesby all in 1A. Abbott and Jonesboro are in 1A D1. Oglesby is in 1A D2. And then down in our private 6-man ranks, we have Live Oak, who of course won a state championship last year. So of the Central Texas teams that aren't ranked, not among that group that I just listed, which do you think has the potential to make the deepest playoff run when that rolls around?
Gosh, that's a tough question.
You look at week softballs one, here, man. You got.
I know, and maybe I should have done my homework better on this too. But I'm slacking off these days. You look at Connolly's result the other night in year 2 at Terry Garrick, and you think, okay, and they got a great quarterback too in Jelani McDonald. Could that be? They had such a fantastic year in, was it 2019 that they went 10-0 in the regular season?
That feels right.
It wasn't the screwed up pandemic year because not everybody even played 10 games that year.
Correct.
But gosh, I mean, is that where the bar is set for that team?
Yeah, I mean, so I will. True confession here. When I wrote this question, I had Conley in mind.
You should have answered it first. Then you should have said that up front.
I mean, and DJ, if that's your answer, feel free to piggyback on it. But I mean,
it's like the dating game, Like I turned my card over, and it's the same thing you had, right?
Well, sure. So DJ, what do you think?
I mean, Conley's very good for sure. I think the last high school football game I covered before I joined you in the newsroom back in, it was the fall of 2020 because I graduated in 21. But yeah, it's they were pretty good back then. Not great just because it was a tough year, but yeah, I think Conley's got a shot for sure.
Yeah, so obviously, and a team you're writing about this week, you went out and talked to Terry Garrick and the cadets, but loaded with D1 talent, first of all. So that's a pretty good start. Jelani McDonald committed to Oklahoma State, now not as a quarterback, but as a DB. And then you got Kobe Black, Kobe's just a great all-around athlete. He was our Super Centex basketball newcomer of the year a few years ago. He's a junior now, highly recruited. Of course, his brother is at Oklahoma State as well, I believe. And then Jamari Wiggins is another one that's being, recruited pretty well. They've got the talent. I think it's time for Conley to put it together. They were 4-6, 4-7, something like that last year. I think they are expecting a lot more this year. And I would kind of be surprised if Conley doesn't win at least 10 games. And I haven't looked ahead at, how the bracket might fall come the playoffs. I haven't done that research, but I do think they have the potential to be a team, that goes deep, in the playoffs.
I'll throw one out there for you. This may not be a playoff run team, but this might be kind of our maybe our
Jinx Tucker.
Well, gosh, I hate to start talking about Jinx Tucker on August 31st.
It's a little
early. Way too early. I was about to say Jinx Tucker, and you beat me to it. But look out for the Robinson Rockets. I mean, it's like you see a team celebrate so much with its fans and its band on a Friday night, and it's been a while since they've been real relevant. Early in the Tommy Allison era, probably. But they were excited, and They had some different guys making plays. I mean, they were going, they were going one division. No, they were going 2 divisions up against University. And University, they showed enough punch to actually, take over the game if Robinson hadn't stood up and held on to it. So I don't know that I'm saying Jinx Tucker. I don't know that I'm saying deep playoff run, but that's one to watch because they got a little bit of momentum behind them now.
And I'm trying to remember that 4A D2 district that Robinson is in with Conley and Gatesville. Is that a 5-team district?
I can check that for you real quick.
Franklin.
I
would like to note that I was the only one that picked Robinson to win this week.
Nice.
We both picked University.
Yeah.
Yes, you did. And
was...
sure, I picked it because y'all picked University, but like, I felt like they were really hungry for a win. And I mean, so was University, but like Robinson just really needed a win, especially to start off with a new coach. And, they've been really optimistic. I feel like all summer that I've talked to them, they've sounded really hopeful and really ready to get at it. So, yeah.
That is a 5-team district.
Yeah,
Bryce.
to answer that question, it is a 5-team district. It's
and I think every team in the district won last week.
So it's 11 4A D2, and Conley and Salado, of course, are at the top of that district. I mean, that's pretty clear. But after that, you have Madisonville, Gatesville, and Robinson.
Well, I heard Madisonville looks really good last week.
Well, but see, all Robinson really has to do
is beat one of them.
And you're in the playoffs. Would that be huge in Mike Ludlow's first season? Absolutely. I mean, that would, for a team coming off a 3-7 year, that would be a big step. So yeah, let's keep an eye on the Rockets. We'll see. I would certainly pump the brakes on any deep playoff run talk.